Welcome to Casually Dressed Deep Conversation, the lockdown sessions with me, Greg Chalmers. CDDC is brought to you by Pizza Daddy, Lanarkshire's #1 American-style pizza parlour. To stay up to date on new offers and flavours, connect on the socials. On Facebook and Instagram, search for Real Pizza Daddy. The website is www.thepizzadaddy.co.uk. This afternoon, I have one of my closest friends and professional dancer, Mick Scott. How you doing, mate?
What's happening?
You good?
Always good, always good. Lockdown is life right now.
Mate, you've been enveloped by a duvet just now.
Mate, man, it's all about comfort right now.
When was the last time you wore jeans?
Oh, I don't have jeans in Scotland with me. I've literally just got joggies and a pair of chinos.
A pair of chinos?
Aye, mate. Oh, kicking it old school.
Is that just in case you've got to do a bit of backyard strutting?
Well, I didn't know it was going to be locked down when it came up, so I thought I'd have to look semi-presentable at one point.
And you just gave up on that?
Aye. Straight into the dancing clothes, mate. Never out of them.
Mate, I'm the same, man. Full trackie.
Aye. When do you ever change, though?
I never wear trackies, apart from in the lockdown.
Aye,
when? Well, when I'm out doing exercising it.
Exercising that?
Anyway,
mate, you've been doing bad exercising.
Mate, stop covering your mouth.
Hello.
Aye, that's much better. Doing this.
But no, I need to do this.
Well, you got to remember that people are going to watch your stupid face like if it's been mounted on the back of an alpaca.
Right, sound. Is that better?
Aye, mate, you're looking good, man. You're looking good. You can tell you've been training hard.
How can you tell? You can't see it with my face.
Nah, but you're looking gaunt.
I don't know what that means. Oh, right, am I? Thanks.
Anyway, mate, so how is your lockdown going?
It's good, mate. Just dancing away, doing the boogieing. Chilling, mate. Not much. I'm trying to think what's good to talk about the lockdown. I feel like everybody's talking about it, so I don't want to just regurgitate what everybody's saying.
I know, but you're trying to still stay on point, though. Do you know what I mean? And still keep and still stay in the sort of physical condition that you can do the best that you can.
Yeah. I've got. That's it. I got to keep training because I want to come out of this and I hit the ground running. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to come out of this and be like, oh, I've just been a slob for a few months.
Yeah.
And now I need to get back in shape to do my job, so I need to keep. Like basically, if I got a phone call saying everything's back to normal tomorrow, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, that's a good attitude, mate. That's the best way to be.
Right, but at the same time, I'm also taking advantage of having some downtime because for 10 years now I've been hustling. Do you know what I mean? So It's also a case of like, this is a forced rest, and I need to rest. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Got to make the most of it.
So, I feel like that's something that people aren't really like finding a nice balance in.
Mm-hmm.
Like I either talk to people and they're just complete couch snobs now, or I talk to people and they're like fitness freaks and they feel like they're not achieving enough. You're not a fitness freak. You're doing alright actually, because you're doing a bit of productivity in it, and then you're also having a bit of downtime with yourself.
I'm just straight up exercising, man.
Aye, but that's good. Like, but you're not doing a cycle and then coming home and doing a workout at home and all that. Do you know what I mean? Are you?
Aye.
Calm down, mate.
I've got the TheraBands and all that.
Oh, it's the TheraBands. Look at the big ones.
The big boy bands.
TheraBands saved my life, man, when I've done my shoulder, I'm telling you right now.
I thought you were meaning like you fell off a cliff and you held onto one.
Oh, I held on to a TheraBand.
Boing!
The original cliffhanger right here.
So you've said to me before that you've been doing classes and stuff like that. So how is that working? Is that like people are putting stuff up online and then you're just doing like a live class?
To be honest, the dance scene's kind of figuring it out as it goes. For the first week or two, everybody was teaching class online, live classes. I decided not to teach straight away because I wanted to see how it was going to unravel.
Yeah.
And what I suspected is kind of happening, like all these like dance schools and colleges and all these things still took all the fees off the students.
Oh, did they?
And they're still doing their classes online. so through applications like Zoom and stuff. So they're still technically given the education, so they've took the fees. So there is actually a market there for us to still make money, because at first our whole industry just got destroyed. Everybody lost their jobs, lost their money, lost their income for the next few months, and I was a bit hesitant in just sharing my product online for free.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to get into that habit. Like if I start doing that every week, then I'm putting my whole product out there for free, and that's it out there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when you put a video up online, it's up online. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not like I've done loads of charity work and like free workshops and stuff. But the only people that benefit for that are the people that are in the room putting in the work. But if you put something online, anybody can access it at any time.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I just sort of let it unravel, because I want to make sure that the industry doesn't get destroyed by free classes and stuff, which is turning around now. A lot of people are teaching on Zoom and charging a lot of things like that. So it actually worked out really nice. So what happened is that there was 2 weeks of free classes, but now everybody's starting to go, okay, now that we've found our feet, let's start monetizing this, which is, I think, the right way to do it. Like, give the free classes when people need a bit of an uplift and a bit of a spirit lift, do you know what I mean?
Yep.
But now that everybody, because I don't know how you feel, but for me, I'm settling into the lockdown. I kind of know how I feel about it now.
Well, I've been in lockdown for 10 months.
Aye, you have. Aye.
Like
I feel like the first week you're always a bit like, oh, what's happening here?
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually you start fucking sort of figuring out how you're going to react to it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so that's basically, they just put up the class. But I'm actually going to teach an online class next week for free, and it'll be the only one that I do.
Alright, okay, so that's an exclusive, so we'll fire that into the description.
Boom, yeah, everybody check it out if you're listening. I think it's going to be on Monday or Tuesday at 2 p.m. Just check my Insta.
It's going to be on Monday.
But yeah, I'm going to do a one-time online class for free, just to show support, just to show that I'm here as part of the scene. But then if I then continue to do any online teaching, I'm going to try and monetize it. And that's not in a selfish way, that's more just I feel like that's what people should be doing, because if most people are still getting their wages, most people are still paying their dance fees, then the dancers should be getting paid for it, do you know what I mean?
Well, we all need to survive, mate.
Aye, and especially people are forgetting that freelance workers, not just dancers, just freelance workers in general, are the ones that get kicked in the ass with this the most, do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Because a lot of people, everybody got hurt by it, and I'm not taking it away from anyone, but a lot of people who have contracts know that they're getting that 8% of the wage coming in, whereas a lot of freelance people are still figuring it out. And like, obviously there's the self-employed thing that's happening, but that's only if you've had a self-employed tax return for 2019. Whereas there's a lot of people who just come into the industry or just started, you know what I mean? They're just getting wrecked by it. So yeah, I'm just trying to help build up a place so that we can monetize it and survive, but at the same time share a bit of the passion.
That's admirable, mate. Well done. I'm proud of you.
Thanks, my man. I feel like I'm proud of it.
So, as far as like commercial work's concerned, like obviously you've been hit hard, man. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Where does it go? You know, like after all this sort of eases up a wee bit.
It's that's what I was saying. What we were kind of talking about. We were just having a bit of normal chat at the start. Like, I just got to keep myself ready to hit the ground running. I'm under the belief, and this is an opinion, this isn't a fact, but I'm under the belief that when this blows over, my industry is going to boom.
Really?
Because everybody is locked in their house, so everybody's going to want to go out and be entertained. So there's going to be events after events. There's going to be every artist out trying to do a tour. There's going to be all these things going on, and I think that's just going to open up so much work for dancers. Like television shows, films, they're all going to want to start filming. They're going to want to produce more than they were going to produce. Yeah. So I think it's going to counter like what has happened. Mm-hmm. And if you look at it was, do you know Patrick Bet-David?
Yes.
He put up a very interesting video with all the figures of like pandemics have happened in the past, like your AIDS pandemic and your flu pandemic and all that. And if you look at them, they all lose. The world loses money when it first happened, but then the rebound when everybody goes back in and whatever. There's only one pandemic, and I can't remember what it is.
It was the Hong Kong flu. The Hong Kong flu, I think it was. It didn't kick back.
Was it?
I think so. 1965 or something.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It was in the mid 1900s, and there was only that one pandemic where the actual overall finance of the world was in negative, and it was only negative 1.7 or something like that. Whereas every other pandemic was in actually a positive place after the whole thing. So, like, right now, obviously, there's a lot of financial strain on most governments and most countries. But I think every single industry is going to boom on the rebound of this. And I'm just making sure I'm ready to be there to put some jobs in the dance world.
Yeah. It's just, it's quite demoralising as well, because especially you work in an industry where you'll have, like, one project you'll be focusing on, and you put your heart and soul in it, and then you manage to, then you move on to something else. So everything's always fresh. Whereas what's happening to you just now is you're a bit like in limbo, which mustn't sit quite very easily with you. Do you know what I mean? You must be like, don't know what's happening. I've not got this lined up. Like you usually do.
Yeah, do you know what? Actually, I kind of agree, but also kind of disagree with you in a sense. Okay. I think what you're saying is completely valid, but I also believe that there's a wide margin of our industry, like myself, there's been points in my career where maybe I've not had work lined up, or I've been in a place where where is my next job going to be, and I went through a couple of months of struggle and whatever, and it kind of just feels like one of those times. So there is a kind of familiarity. I can't say that word.
Familiarity.
You know what I mean? Yeah, there's a bit of that.
Yep.
In here. Like, I kind of feel like I've been in this position before. Obviously, I've not. No one has, but it's I've kind of got small tools in my back pocket to help me deal with this, and that is simple things like, okay, how can I be productive in my time? How can I keep myself motivated? How can I keep myself entertained and positive? You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of the thing is my inspiration and my creativity and stuff always comes out if I'm in a happier place. I mean, I suppose anyone can say that, but I've met a lot of people who create their best work actually when they're depressed or when they're down, because their work can be very emotional or whatever. But mine's, a lot of my product is very light-hearted and more enjoyable. You know what I mean? So I need to try and find how to, in these situations, get myself into a more positive place. And I've learned these tools over the course of my career. Do you know what I mean?
I suppose that kind of leads into what I was actually going to talk to you about next. That because there are such highs and such lows, it must have quite a severe effect on people's mental health.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I think there was an article actually released in America at the end. It was either in December last year or January this year, and it was, studies were done recently, and it showed that the performing industry, so not just dancing, singing, acting, anything that really has that audition vibe about it, is one of the most I can't think of the proper word, but it's the hardest on your mental health. It's the hardest industry to keep a good mindset in, because you're in the face of rejection every day, and in that rejection, the only way to push forward your career is you need to take that rejection as constructive criticism. But a lot of the time, it's not given as constructive criticism; it's given as rejection. Like, I've been in auditions before where they've literally cut people and said to the people they've cut, "You're just too ugly." So
what? Seriously?
But imagine, 100%, not exaggeration.
Shocking.
Yeah, so imagine, and not being funny, imagine you're a lawyer and you go for an interview at a firm, and they go, "Oh no, we're not going to interview you, you're too ugly." That's like a lawsuit in itself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this is the only industry that legally allows discrimination, and it's because they're not actually discriminating; they're just looking for a certain part. So if you're going to be the leading man in a prince in a story, then you need to look like the stereotypical prince in it, or whatever. So yeah, it's that whole thing of they can kind of avoid the discrimination in a sense. Like, they do try and bring in a bit of equal rights, but there's only so much you can do before you start playing with the artistic integrity of the shows. So yeah, like I've been seeing people being cut, and I've been cut a few times for like the most random things that you're like, that is not constructive. But I can't take that away. And what sort
of things have they said?
Just sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, you're just too skinny." So I'm okay. I need to build up. But then the people that get the role are like really, really big, and then that changes my whole look for my career. Do you know what I mean? And then jobs, I would get to that size, and jobs would be like, "Oh no, now you're too big." Do you know what I mean? So it's like, oh, there's nothing I can do to help that. Then there's trying to think of other ones that I've had. I've been told too tall and too short as well. Can't change that. Do you know what I mean? Like, things about like your actual physical appearance. It's just not.
Aye, there's nothing you can actually change about it. Really, I mean, you can.
And then that's what drives people to do these things. Like they'll get plastic surgery and they'll get all these things, and they'll waste a lot of their wages on that. And not that I'm against that sort of stuff. I know that it helps a lot of people, but I also feel like in this industry, the first thing you've got to be able to do is accept yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like, because if you're going to face that rejection all the time, and then if you hate something about yourself, that's just going to dig deeper. Do you know what I mean?
They're shining a spotlight on it.
Yeah, 100%. Like for a female, imagine being a female who is insecure about like maybe your breast size or something like that, and then someone says, "Oh, your boobs are too small." That's just going to eat you. Do you know what I mean? Like that's just going to. Whereas
I can't believe they get away with that.
There's mad stuff, man. Obviously they're smart about how they word it sometimes, but yeah.
So what if like that's the kind of every day for a performer is having to deal with the rejection and stuff like that, but there must be high points. So what would you say that your sort of highest points have been?
Highest points?
Smoking
that's a hard one. 420. No, my highest points. This is a hard one, right? And I tell you why. Because okay, thank you. For me personally, my highest points aren't my biggest bragging points, if you get what I'm saying. A lot of people, when you ask someone their highest point of their career, they then tell you something that maybe they're most proud of, or they know that looks good on paper. Whereas a lot of my highest points in my career is just when I've like just went and seen different parts of the world, and I'm like obviously, you know, when I stayed in Dubai, there wasn't like that I stayed there for 2 years. There wasn't a point. There wasn't the job that was the highest point. I've done much better jobs. There wasn't a point in that, but just there was so many times I'd wake up in the morning and go out my balcony, look over Dubai, and I'd be like, I live in Dubai, like that's madness. Do you know what I mean? Like we Mick for Clydebank just living in Dubai, like what's happening? Do you know what I mean?
Mate, that's amazing, man.
I think things like that. I think I've worked very hard as well with my mentality, my mindset, and remembering how good these things are. Like, do you know what I mean? Because it's very easy to get caught up in the industry and be like, okay, you can't be happy until you've done the biggest job, until you've been backing dancer for Justin Timberlake or something like that. But like, let's be fair, Justin Timberlake in the past decade has done 3 world tours. He's had 8 or 10 dancers on each tour, so that's only 30 dancers that are going to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, and even that being said, there was some dancers that he used for the 3 tours. So, I mean, if you're aiming for that, then a good on you. But I think that you need to have other goals as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think you need to remember that. I think these people who limit themselves to one dream and one goal, and even limit themselves to a certain event of that goal. But my whole thing is, I wrote myself a list when we used to jam back in the day. I wrote myself a list of the type of jobs I want to do, but I didn't write backing dancer for a certain and then write a certain artist name. I just write, I want the backing dancer, what the music video, what do a Broadway show, want a tour, want a this, and now I've picked all them off. Do you know what I mean? So like, to me, that's a massive achievement. Whereas if I'd put that stigma of backing dancer for JT, then I would spend my whole career trying to do that one thing instead of exploring all these different routes that showed me so many magnificent things. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I can't even think of high points right now, and that makes me feel bad. Like, you should always be thinking high points.
Well, I mean, so let's look. I mean, I know everything from your career, right? So talk to me about what was it like performing at the Mobiles? That's way back.
Yeah, that was my first one. That was the one that made me want to dance full time. That's what made me quit my carpeting job and be like, this is where it's going to be. And mate, that was mad. Like, you're just backstage, fucking like Jermaine Jackson, David Guetta. At the time, JLS were massive. Kerry Hilson. They're all just walking about next to you, and you're just like, what is going on here?
Because you were like 18 at the time, weren't you?
Yeah, 19. It was 2000. Oh no, you're right. I was still 18 when I done it.
Yeah.
I was about to turn 19. But yeah, and that was a madness. And then from that, like, so going from that, my first big job was backing a massive artist, and then
who was it?
Going from that and being able to chase my career.
Who was that? Was that Kelly Rowland?
That was Kelly and David.
Boom.
And going from that and being able to then do shows that I become the featured dancer at, and then like you're on stage, and yeah, might not be like at Mobile Awards or like whatever, but you're still at sold out theatres and doing big shows and doing big jobs, and people are actually there just to watch you.
Yeah.
Like, so it's mad how you can flip that. And then obviously I have done more artist work and video work and stuff since then. So it's good news all around, man.
My favourite is the music video for The Party.
Because of the boxing thing at the start.
It's just the beginning.
Do you know what that is? That's a perfect example, right? Because I got a decent feature in that because of that part, and that's a perfect example that the director literally just goes, "Oh, does anybody know how to box?" And I was like, "Aye, a little bit." I mean,
I love it.
I done a bit when I was younger, but I mean, I'm not exactly Muhammad Ali, but I'll give you a punch or two. Do you know what I mean? And then you end up getting a feature. Do you know what I mean? So it's always throw yourself in there. Do you know what I mean?
But you got the drop as well, didn't you?
Yeah, that was set on the flip.
The back flip, and then see, when I watched that, I was like, jammy bastard.
Yeah, mate. That was. I think that was a massive high point for me. Not because of the actual video itself. The video blew up though.
Yeah, man, it was good.
And then because it was the type of music that you'd play in gyms and stuff, so the video was always on in gyms. So the amount of people from my past that maybe I don't really talk to anymore or whatever, that would just send me really like encouraging messages, like, oh, like I can't believe I've seen you on my TV, blah blah blah, things like that. It's like always that validation. Like I'm a strong believer in don't chase validation, but appreciate it when you get it.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Like I don't need validation to push me forward, but I'll always take it when it's given, and I'll always appreciate it, because I mean, as humans, we like to know that what we're doing is right, or like seen right by someone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Totally. So, I mean, it must have been, you were just saying about validation, and then you get headhunted, as it were, to go to Dubai, like you were saying earlier on. Like, that's got to feel pretty good.
That was good. Dubai was a madness, man. And like, to be part of the production, because it was the first step up production, like I feel like the production ended up flopping and it went a really bad way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it lost all its integrity. It lost, like, because originally they brought over one of the dancers from the first Step Up movie. They brought over a director who's the director of Cats the Musical. So they brought over high class people. Yeah. And they were like, we're going to make this sick. Moose from the movies was meant to be the guy opening the show with us. Loads of cool stuff, and just slowly things started falling off. And then just due to budget and lack of money, they started taking cutbacks and stuff, and now it's just nothing like what it could have been. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Which is a shame, but yeah, it was mad. It was mad to be part of the process at the beginning, and like some of the talent that was in the original cast was insane. Like the guy Yoshi for Japan, who's like any b-boy in the scene knows who Yoshi is. He's madness. He's like, he's a madness. Like my boy now, you know now. Yeah. And I told now, he was like, oh yeah, I know Yoshi. Like it's one of the ones. You know what I mean? Like, and then my boy Jacob Yar, he's from New Zealand. He's part of Royal Family, which if you don't know about dance, that's a massive dance sort of group that won the World Championships like 5 years running. and their choreographer Paris Gobel then went on to choreograph all Justin Bieber's albums and
Oh, really?
stuff like that. Like, she's massive, so that's who he trained with. So to be around those sort of people and learn, and like they obviously have that common interest. Like, we both love dancing, but one learned in Japan, one learned in New Zealand, I learned in Scotland. Like, it's fun to see how the come up's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally get that, man. So
Yeah.
that you're just back from Mother Russia.
Yes.
So you're saying about dancers from different backgrounds and stuff like that. What's the scene like in Russia?
Russia's a mad one, you know, man. Russia's hard to it's hard to say what the scene's like, because I feel like I still don't know what the scene's like. When I'm out there, I'm really only teaching at the school that I'm teaching at,
Right.
and because I'm doing so many hours at that school, I find it hard to go and connect with dancers from other places. But I did meet a few, and I did link up with a few, and there's some crazy talent out there. But Drive Dance does its thing, by the way. Big up Drive Dance. They get some amazing teachers out, and they've got some good talent in the school, and they do the thing. But it's a mentality, it's a culture thing. Like,
Yeah.
the Russian culture is very different to the British culture.
In what way?
100%. I'm not even going to lie. I don't know how to pinpoint it yet. Like, I feel like if I start trying to tell you, I'll start getting into stereotypes that aren't completely true.
Yep. Okay.
I think there's an underlying thing of what's different, and I think that as humans, the easiest way to explain stuff that we don't understand is just to go to stereotypes or things that people connect with. But I don't think it's quite that. So I'm going to do another trip out there, and that's sort of what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out what gets them out of bed compared to what gets us out of bed. Because they have a work ethic that I feel like British people don't generally have.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they have self-discipline, which not that British people don't have, but I feel like in Britain you either come across someone who is self-disciplined and who is going to fight for everything they can get, or they're the total opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like two types of people, whereas in Russia I feel like most of them are self-disciplined.
Yep.
Like some of the people I was teaching, it was way out of their depth. And in UK, a lot of people would stop dancing, or they'd go and sit at the side, or they'd go out of the class or whatever. Whereas these people, I'm talking like women that are like 45, who don't really need to be in learning a dance that they don't know. Like, sitting there pushing through, and you can see the stress and frustration and like panic in their face, but they just will not stop trying. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
And it's that fight. Like, that's what I want to understand why they all have that.
So when do you think you're going to go back out?
Well, my trip got cut short because of the corona thing. So I think Eldar's the guy that runs it. He's a legend. He's a good friend of mine now. So we'll probably hook something up soon. I don't want to say any dates or any months, because I've got a lot of friends out there, and I don't want to get them excited that I'm coming. But
mate, because I don't know when. I was meant to go with you last time, obviously.
Yeah.
But if you're doing
next time you're coming.
Yeah, I'm coming, man. Moscow better watch out, mate. You're all dazzling.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun, bro. We're gonna have fun.
Yeah, man.
Moscow, the party scene is sick. It's the most mature party scene I've ever seen.
Is that like, you trying to say I'm old?
No. It's me trying to say that we're all both old. But no, in a sense, but like, not being funny and not bagging Glasgow, because I love a Glasgow night out.
Right.
But if you go to a nightclub in Glasgow, you know you're going to be surrounded by 16 to 20 year olds. Do you know what I mean?
Depends where you're going.
Whereas,
do you know what I mean?
aye, some place you're right. Some places 13 to 15 year olds. But
if you're going to Club Mango and Clyde back.
Oh, kindergarten right there. But no, do you know what? It's not even age. It's just like, people dance, and I don't feel like you get that a lot.
No, there's a lot of posing.
Aye, like I've partied America, Australia, UK, Dubai, most of Europe. Like, I've been lucky enough to party all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And in Russia, when I walked into the club, and no one's a dancer. No one knows what they're doing, but they're just enjoying moving to the music and having a laugh with their friends, and like it's a bit partying, do you know what I mean? And for me, I really like that. I connect to that, do you know what I mean?
So you mentioned Glasgow there. Now, you came up in the Glasgow scene. And you're now, everybody knows, well, the majority of people know who you are, I would say. Now, you're going to say, no, man, I'm no self-deprecating and all that. But come on, right, we all know in our heart of hearts, you've done a few things, right? So
done a few things.
Right. So, and obviously you live in London just now, so you're not as connected to the Glasgow scene as you once were, but from when you've been up, do you feel the Glasgow scene has changed from 10 years ago to where it is now, or do you, or for the better or for the worse, or do you feel that it's still the same vibe?
It's definitely changed. I can't say if it's for better or for worse. Definitely changed. The vibe's completely different. I think, well, actually, you helped. You were my co-founder on Point. You helped me build that company and make it what it was. And it's funny because, say you go to classes in Glasgow now, people don't even know what On Point is. Do you know what I mean?
Such a shame.
Like, which is crazy, man. Which is crazy. Like, I had a conversation with someone the other day. I can't remember who it was, but I was speaking to someone from the Scottish scene when I was judging a competition, and basically they were talking to me and I was like, oh, I want to do something that brings Scottish dancers together, da. And I was like, yeah, well, you're talking to the right person. I know what that feels like. I've been there, done that sort of thing. And they were like, no, but no one's ever really brought them all together. And I mean, I got my back up a little bit. I got a bit defensive. I'm like, you didn't just say that to me. And this word for word, I'm like, you didn't just say that to me, did you? And he was like, what? What do you mean? And I'm like, well, not being funny, but I did. Like, there's no one can dispute the fact that I put on a show when most crews at the time and some dance schools brought their pieces and they repped themselves. And then in that show, I opened and closed every half with a company that I created that had people from 13 different crews in that one company. Do you know what I mean? Like, how much more do you want to bring people together? I had 13 different crews that usually battle and dance against each other, creating and dancing with each other. Like, you can't say anything else to that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, but nowadays people don't even know that that's a thing, but they don't realise that they'll live in the aftermath of that. So like,
they're reaping the benefits of it unknowingly.
Yeah, 100%. So like, in that On Point company, you had your Goblins members, like your Levon and stuff like that. Then you had your Pink Acid members, like Yasmin and stuff. Then you had some of the MP dance crew, which was Lauren and Steph at the time, who a lot of these people aren't in the scene, or some still are. You had me, you had Adam, Chris, you had all these people. And now that's how a lot of us have a stronger relationship. Obviously, like, there's other ways why these people know each other, but that's how did help, like, close a lot of bonds. And now that's why you get collab classes. Now that's why you get people supporting each other's classes. Whereas before it was never like that. It was always competitive. It was always against each other. And there's always that underlying thing. I ain't going to front and talk shit. There's always that underlying thing where people are being competitive.
Of course.
I ain't going to call anybody out either, but I see it, and I see people, like, I'll have conversations with people when they're bagging on someone else, and I'm like, okay. But healthy competition's good in a way, and as long as it doesn't become vindictive or trying to actually affect someone's hustle or business. But yeah, man, I don't know, to answer your question, I went on a tangent, sorry. To answer your question, it definitely changed. It's now just a commercial world. There's not a lot of battle dancers. There's two kids out there though that are mad to watch out for. Kid Tough, Kenzie, and Kyle Noodles. One's a popper, one's a hip hop dancer, but they can both do a bit of everything.
Yeah.
They're both about 13 years old.
Oh yeah?
Don't hate me if I got that wrong, boys. They're around 13, maybe they're 14. And bro, they're madness. They're madness. They're a product. I like to say they're a product of the Scottish dance community. Their training, as far as I know, is down to themselves. I think they're very self-taught and whatever. But you can see little glimpses of a lot of the big heads from Scotland, and it's mad, man. So if anybody's into dance, go and check they two out, Kid Tough and Noodles. They're the future of the Scottish dance scene, I think. There's a lot of other younger people coming up in the commercial side, but it's hard. I feel like I'm going on a tangent, so I'll allow it.
Mate, why then?
I feel like when it comes to dance, you get two types of people. You get the type of people who have been in a dance school their whole life, which means the whole life they've got someone saying, do this, do that, do this, and you'll be successful. So they've never had to figure it out themselves. And then you get people who come up as freestyle and battle dancers, and they have no one guiding them through. So they work it the whole way, and that's why when you look at my friend group, like you're LeVon, you're Adam, you're Chris Parrott, you're me, all these people, we come up like that, and that's why we still go, and that's why we find success. Whereas a lot of people, not everyone, there's definitely, so don't take that the wrong way, there's definitely a lot of good friends of mine that come up in a dance school, but they had the drive and the power to go and find it themselves. Like a great example actually, who's always underrated in my opinion, is Lauren Jameson. You remember LJ? She's down killing the London scene. She's doing some great things, to be honest. And she came up all the way through Michelle's school, and Michelle is a good person for training her kids and stuff and getting them the right training. So she came all the way up Michelle's school, then went out and chased it and done her thing. And a lot of people I don't think expected her to do as well as she's done. But I think it's just more common the battleheads and the actual freestyle dancers to go and do their thing.
Yep.
I think it's more common that you see them be successful in a way. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. But I think all the see the people who come up alongside you, that are still in the dance industry. Like you look at the likes of Emma. Emma's got she's SQA accredited and all that now. They've got their own school and stuff like that.
They're killing it.
You taught for her, didn't you?
Yeah. I go in and help Dance Inc. as much as I can. I really support and back Dance Inc., which is Emma Gwynn's school. I'm trying to think. I've been in maybe 3 times. I do workshops, one-off workshops. But we actually, before all this Corona stuff happened, we actually were in talks about maybe sorting something out more regular. Because I feel like I always relate dance to fashion. I think it's good for it's a good analogy for people to understand. Fashion's always changing. It's always going in circles.
Yep.
It's always going back to old ways and finding new ways. And I feel like the one criticism I'll give colleges, and don't get me wrong, I'm friends with a lot of people that run like your Recairs and your, although they're not called that anymore, but your College West and your Glasgow College and stuff. But I think the one criticism is they're very protective of their way of doing things, and they're not opening to learning new ways and changing.
Yeah.
And adapting. And when you're in an industry that is always changing and adapting, you need to be willing to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you need to be smart enough with your own techniques and your own ways of doing things and how to adapt them to in a new industry. So, for example, if you're a complete contemporary dancer and all you know is contemporary, in today's industry, there's very limited contemporary work as opposed to maybe commercial work, which 10 years ago was complete flip, reverse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 100%. But whereas now, if you're a contemporary head and you had to go through the training to become a contemporary head, and then you still have the same skill set that someone that went through the training to become a commercial head, you might dance completely different, but the actual core skills of this is how you get good at something, this is practice makes perfect, good practice makes perfect. I'll have to amend that statement. Correct practice makes perfect. Good work ethic, all these sort of things. So it's just a case of actually using these skills that got you successful and got you in a place of leading a college or whatever, using these skills and passing these skills on to your student instead of passing your opinion on.
Yeah.
And by opinion, I mean what type of dance is more effective or what type of dance is better for you, because that's opinion, mate. Like, at the end of the day, I could get 10 dancers in a room and all 10 dancers would argue which style is the most important style to learn.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, like, it's pointless trying to have that argument because that's based on opinion, it's based on your experience and your journey.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I think you would all agree that stretching is important, you'd all agree that core strength is important. Do you know what I mean? So there's skills that you can pass on to students no matter what the college is teaching.
Mm-hmm. I think it's interesting you mentioned the journey, because the whole thing, I mean, a dancer's career is a short one. So the journey, if put it this way, if you worked in any other industry, you wouldn't be able to reflect on your journey at a young age like you. But you've been doing it for 10. You've been doing this. You've been 10 years or more, right? But you can reflect on it. But so you're obviously down in London just now, competing with people who are at the beginning of that journey, right?
Yeah.
So what's that like when you're going up against this constant stream of new talent,
fresh heads?
Yeah.
That's actually, so obviously I've been out of London now for 5 years, and I just moved back last year, midway through last year, and that's the first time in my life that I've actually felt like, oh wait, I'm going up against like a younger intake of dancers, and I'll openly admit, I've got no shame in admitting, because I feel like the reason that I'm like the way I am is because I've achieved what I wanted to achieve.
Yeah.
So it's, I feel like that's a positive outlook. But yeah, I don't have the drive that some of these guys have. And a perfect example of someone to use is my partner, Shani. She's hungry right now, man. Like, she's hustling, she's working, she's doing shifts outside of dancing, a different job, just to make sure she got enough money for all the classes she wants to do. She's training in a house, she's doing her thing, she's making sure she's ready for anything. Do you know what I mean? She's trying to find herself as a dancer as well. I think that's a massive thing that people forget. It's an art. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're an artist in the sense of a singer, you're going to play with different types of music until you know what your sound is. If you're an artist in terms of a painter and an actor, you're going to try different techniques till you know where you, like, are you better with spray paint, are you better with brush, are you better with pencil, are you better with stencils, do you know what I mean? Like, all these different things. Like, it's the same with dance. People have got to find what they're good at, or not even what they're good at, where their passion is. Whereas for me, I kind of know where my passion lies. I kind of know what I like to do and what I don't like to do. So I don't have the drive that these kids have. So yeah, you feel that when you go into the audition room, and you can feel the hunger oozing out of them. Do you know what I mean? You're like, oh, they want this more than anything right now. Like, whereas I want it, but I'm also looking forward to going home and putting on a kettle, having a cup of tea, fucking, or even not even that old sounding. Like, I'm looking forward to getting home, buying a few beers, meeting up with my mates, and going out for a drink. Like, I think because I hustled for 10 years. And like, you're one of my best mates. You know how much we lost touch on a lot of times, and how much I was just off the radar. Like, and that's because my hunger for achieving my dream was there, and like everything else took a back seat. Spending time with my mates, spending time doing all these, going on holidays, all these things, all took a back seat. And the main goal and the main objective was making it. But then I did that, and now I'm kind of going back to enjoy what I missed. Like, spend time with yourself, spend time with the boys, sit and play a bit of PlayStation, go and have a night out with my missus, having a nice meal when I could be at class that night. But do you know what I mean? It's finding a balance. And don't get me wrong, I'm still training a lot. I'm still training, like, most days in my house I'll have a freestyle and I train. I'll do a good amount of classes a week. So I'm not saying that I'm at a point where I'm completely stopping and I don't have any hunger, but yeah, when you go into that room, you do feel these kids that want it, man. And I love it. It reminds me of me. It reminds me of, like, and it almost, I feel like it's going to affect people in two ways, because I know people that it scares them. Like, I've got friends that now, like, oh, I don't want to go into audition. I won't be able to beat these people. Whereas for me, it excites me. Do you know what I mean? If I'm in a room with 5 people that get that hunger I used to have, I kind of get it back.
Yeah, totally.
I'm like, oh no, okay, I'm going to make these kids work for it. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is my job. I'm taking this. And like, mate, in our industry, you get, I'd say 1,000 no's for every yes. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, my CV's long and good, but if I had to give you a list of my no's.
Better get some new paper.
Like, yeah, that's a whole Microsoft spreadsheet situation, man. But yeah, man, it's a good question, actually, and I think it's something that I feel like people that are maybe insecure in themselves, or people who feel like they didn't quite do what they wanted to do, and then when these kids come out and they're hungry, they see it as a threat because they're still trying to achieve things.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like not because I've done everything I've done at that, because there's definitely things that I've not experienced or whatever, but I did do my list, do you know what I mean, in my own personal little list. I did tick it all off, so I'm comfortable with that sense now, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of in a bit of a limbo in life, just finding out what the next step is and enjoying doing my dancing while I'm waiting, do you know what I mean?
What I was going to say is, see when you're talking about all these the young heads coming in, right? What advice would you give them, looking back at what you've done and the mistakes you've made, or the good decisions you've made? What would you say to the fresh-faced Mick if he walked into that dance studio?
Okay, I believe the biggest educator in any situation is experience.
Okay.
And I believe that maybe the biggest hindrance in people, and especially myself when I was starting out, was inability to allow that experience to happen. So for example, if you get a no, or you get your first start getting your first no's and your first failures and stuff, you try and block it out, you try and act like it didn't happen, you try and thingy, instead of really experience it, instead of being like, okay, what could I have done better? You try and act like, oh, there's nothing I could have done better, that just wasn't going to be for me. A lot of people say that, oh, what's for you will go by you, blah blah blah. Whereas I do believe that we have to take responsibility in our own failures, do you know what I mean? There's definitely been times that I've been cut from auditions because I went in underprepared.
Yeah.
Or, do you know what I mean? So then that taught me to be more prepared. So I feel like have an open mind with all your no's, have an open mind with auditions and stuff like that, and be ready to accept that you might be the reason why you never got it, as much as you're ready to accept that it might have been out with your control. Like what I said, we're in an industry where you can get a no for your hair colour. Like, unless you want to dye your hair for every audition, what's the point? Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So that leads me on to my second bit of advice. My second bit of advice is, as quickly as you can, accept what your product is. Create your product. And what's hard with us as dancers is our product is ourselves.
Yep.
So we have to find an acceptance within ourselves. We have to be like, okay, do you know what? I'm going to be really muscly, or I'm going to be quite lean and quite small, or whatever. Like, there's people out there that can't put their toe in. Do you know what I mean? So don't spend your whole career going, oh, if I was muscly, I'd be doing this job, I'd be doing that job. Because there's definitely jobs you can be doing when you're not muscly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and on the flip side, there's a lot of bigger dancers that maybe don't have the mobility of skinnier people. Like, for example, one of my boys, Isaac, he's by no means a gym head. Like, he's got a good figure and stuff, but he's by no means a gym head. He doesn't like buying gym or anything like that. But the mobility he has in his shoulders and his back and stuff like that, mate, is insane. And he's had one of the best careers in the world. Like, he's done two West End shows. He's worked with Zoo Nation, which is a West End, so he's done more West End shows, but he's done two out West Zoo Nation, and he's done loads of Zoo Nation stuff. He's done commercials, he's done everything you could think of, and he's only 24, 25. He's insane. He's one of the most talented movers I've ever seen. And he'll keep working his whole life, but that's just because he kind of knows who he is, and he just goes with that. Do you know what I mean? He knows when he walks into a room, he knows what he's trying to sell, and that's just like for me. I'm the same. Like, I know exactly what my selling points are. I know what my weaknesses are, so I know how to pull back and hide these weaknesses, and I know how to excel and push out my strengths, and that comes from accepting what you are. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think a lot of dancers, because we're constantly growing dance and changing as dancers, they think, oh, maybe I should be growing at everything else, maybe I should be fixing all these other things, whereas they don't quite matter as much. You just need to perfect your craft and sell who you are. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the best bit of advice I can give, and that doesn't mean that it's right. That's just an opinion, but from what I've seen and learned, that's I've seen that work many times. I've seen dancers who you might not aesthetically think should be on big jobs that are like all about aesthetics, but they've been so confident and sell themselves so much in the audition. Producers and that can't help but fall in love with them. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
Oh, mate, I mean, I think that's good advice. And I don't even necessarily think that that's just specific to being a dancer. I think that
No.
I think that could spread across more or less every industry. You know, I think being comfortable in yourself, I think, is especially important in the creative industries, because you need to be true to yourself, and trying to copy what you think is in vogue, I think it can look like an imitation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So I totally think you're totally right.
And what you're saying by applying it to different things is so true, because like if you're selling a product, if you don't believe fully in the product you're selling, then who else is going to buy it?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you need to be willing to buy your own shit before you try and sell it.
Yeah.
And that's key, like, because then if you believe, for example, if I'm trying to sell you something, but I kind of don't believe I would buy it myself, it's going to be harder for me to sell it to you.
Yeah, of course.
But if I'm like, no, bro, you need to buy this because this is the sickest thing in the world, that's going to make me more convincing, do you know what I mean? And that's because you can tell that I believe what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but I think you're right, it is applicable to everything.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I was going to ask you. This is completely out of left field, right? Now, the only reason I'm asking you this just now is because I'm trying to put together a group of people, right? So, basically, I was speaking to Cool Kid, Ryan Laurie, 2 nights ago, and I said to him, and he's up for it. So basically, we want to put together a group of, say, 5 or 6 of us, and we're going to mountain bike the West Highland Way.
Oh, sick.
And then, but we're going to camp it, so it'll probably take like 3 or 4 days, I would imagine. And then every night we camp, we're going to do a round the campfire podcast.
Oh, that'd be sick. Yeah, count me in.
You up for it?
100%.
Right, groovy, man. Because like I said to Ryan, basically I just wanted to get people from loads of different type of industries who are all just good boys, get together and then do this, and also potentially film like a short hour-long documentary, and then release that on our channel. But the first time we watch it, we all watch it as a group around a table, so it's like Gogglebox.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're up for that. Mm-hmm.
Yes. When are you thinking?
I don't know yet, mate. I'm basically just trying to get
as soon
names.
As all this is over.
Yeah. Because Chris is in.
Yes. That'll be a madness, fam.
Because I was also on the way, what I want to do is contact different places on the way and do like, we'll go, I don't know, man, speak to somebody and we'll get sheep shearing, or we'll just do mad stuff. Do you know what I mean? Aye.
I'm down.
Yeah, you up for it?
100%. It sounds like something I've been wanting to do for a while.
Yeah, so it's 96 miles.
Over a course of a couple of days?
4 days, I think. 3 or 4 days.
Maybe 5.
So it'll be good, especially with Chris there, do you know what I mean, because he's bonkers.
Aye. No, let's do it, bro. 100%.
Yeah.
Who else are you thinking?
Sorry?
Who else are you thinking?
Right, so I've got me, you and Ryan, which means so I've got a dancer, a singer, a photographer and fashion guy, and then Chris, obviously the ex-soldier, who's going to be he's going to be like Ant Middleton, the guy who's just like put it in, right? I wanted to get so my pal Robbie from Brighton, so he's an artist.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, so he's up for it, and my pal Rob that's in the band Layaway, so he wants to do it as well, so we've got that. So but what I wanted to get somebody from a sports background, so I was thinking about getting an ex-professional football player or a current professional football player to come and do it as well. I just think it would be really interesting, just all these people who none of them do the same job, and then just be all like a laugh, and then we can just go and do something that would be do something good, mate, as we always say.
Do something good, mate. That's what the name of your podcast should be. Say something good.
Go on, say something good.
say something good.
But I think it would be really good fun. Plus, I think we go past so it starts in Mulgai, and then obviously goes all the way up past Loch Lomond, up past Crane Larrick, and I think it finishes in Fort William. So we could maybe, if we time it, say we left it like a Tuesday, we could time it so we hit Fort William on a Saturday night, and I think there's a nightclub in Fort William.
Yes. It's probably just like a mayor's in it.
Aye, I think so. Do you know the last time I was in Fort William? Well, the last time I stayed in Fort William, me and Craig Morrison and Jamie McEwen got the train up. We couldn't get into the campsite, so we had to sleep rough in the whiskey shop car park.
Oh no!
Literally, mate, under a tree outside. The three is all cuddled out, and we woke up in the morning with this big kind of hydraulic sounding, so it was like pts. We woke up and we looked up, man, there was a tour bus just with all these Japanese and Chinese people looking out the window at us three, just so we could so it finished up there, so that would be a good sort of end a trip.
Well, I've been saying for a while what I did with Asylum Way, so I'm well down.
Yeah, man. Because I read, I've been reading kind of articles about people who've cycled it before, and they said that the Loch Lomond bit's the hardest bit. Because you need to go up the Devil's Staircase and all that, which sounds ominous.
Lovely.
Yeah, and you better get training because you get out of breath cycling to Bowling for Clydebank.
Nah, I know. Yeah, I've got that anaerobic cardio. I'll get my aerobic up.
I think we should before we do it, we should do like a training montage and get Gio to put us through our paces on camera.
Aye. Maybe no, man. Gio's a bit mental.
Mate,
the rinsing he'll be getting people.
Talking about how bad your form is, no?
Aye. Your knee isn't over your toe. Run properly, you dumbass.
But I think so I think that would be that. I think it would be not only would there be good content and stuff like that, but I think it would be a good laugh.
Aye, I'm down, mate. 100%.
Yeah. So we just
100%.
Because when I spoke to Ryan was the same. He's like 100%, mate. I'm in 100%.
Aye.
And
no questions asked.
We Ryan's get some stories, man.
Aye.
Aye, man. So that song he wrote, that song he wrote has been streamed 100 million times.
That's mental, innit?
That's numbers you can't even contemplate.
Nah. Unless he's just got it on repeat in his own house.
He's just got about 80 different laptops just like
devices just playing it.
But he's I think he's performed in front of 80,000 people. He did the summertime ball and all that. Do you know what I mean? He's such an interesting guy because he's so young, but he's done so much. Do you know what I mean? And he's just a regular guy. Do you know what I mean? There's no pretense about him or anything like that. He's not. He's just down for a laugh. So he's up for it. And actually, I think him and Crispy would get on really well.
Aye,
because Crispy
gets on with everybody, but
I know, but do you know? See, because like we've all kind of woven our way through kind of showbiz and performing and all that. Crispy's just no that at all. Do you know what I mean? No. he's but I'll never not say this. Crispy's the most talented dancer I've ever seen. Like raw talent. Like I don't get it. Mate, he's got a real good booty.
He's got a real good booty.
Yeah.
Take that out.
He's because I've not. Do you know the funny thing is I've not even spoken to Mac about this.
Oh fuck.
Oh fuck. No, because I mean.
Sorry, Mac.
Because I mean, for one, Mac will say that he's too busy. Do you know what I mean? But the thing I would say that Mac could do is he could be our support vehicle. He could like bring us supplies.
Aye, every night you can just drive up to where we are and drop us off for Chinese.
Pizza Daddy, pizza's my man.
Pizza Daddy, sorry, aye, Pizza Daddy. I forget he's got 2 restaurants.
Yeah. So yeah, he could do that. Do you know what I mean? Drive up, drop us the pizzas off.
That'd be brilliant.
Yeah, and we could just all sit there and share our ignorance, you know. But anyway,
let's
mate,
do it. I'm down.
I'm going to we'll call it a day there, mate. So before we go, I need you to shout your socials right down the pipe.
Alright, my Instagram is Mick Aliss. And that's all I have.
Okay, cool.
Mick Scott on what's happened? Mick Scott on Facebook. But I really only use Instagram these days.
Cool, man.
Social media is the worst.
Mate, but I don't have any social media.
It drains me, man.
Yeah, got to be focusing on real stuff rather than.
That's it, on the real hustle. No, it can be a very effective tool when it's used properly. I do agree with that. So
yeah.
But yeah.
Right, okay, mate. Well, I'll stop recording now, but don't you go anywhere, right?
Right.
Right, cool. And thanks very much for listening, folks. Good night.
Thank you.